Hi guys, this is Travis with Kyle. We are part of Beyond Bipolar blog. For the most part, this is my channel. I run it. I have bipolar disorder. I've had it since 2008 for almost, let's see, so 2008, 12 and a half years. Almost 13 if you want to call it that. But anyways, today we're going to talk about holidays and how they impact mental health. I'm with my brother today because I want to get his perspective. He's seen and experienced and has an opinion and his own experiences on how it relates to my mental health when it comes to holidays. The most difficult holiday is Christmas, and it just passed, but on my own level, I feel like this is one of the best Christmases I ever had. Now, to make that a point, the worst Christmas I ever had was one where it involved relationships. So, on one end of the spectrum, if a relationship goes well, I feel the holiday is great. If a relationship goes not so well, then, things are very difficult to deal with. Now, the truth is, I do have some friend that I'm pretty close to. We talk on a regular basis. So I feel that is part of the reason why I'm doing better and I'm not focusing on the negative. But I'm also going to explain and give you some coping techniques and what you can do because there's been many years where I just had adequate ability to deal with the holidays. So let's begin. I feel that you want to feel that you can be alone but lonely. That's so important. So a relationship in general can be supportive if you know the person is good for you, if you know that they're supporting you in the right kind of manner. But if it's disruptive or conflict is there, or you're always yelling at each other, that is also very unhealthy. It's a codependency that's not really good for you, and that could really trigger your mental health. So there is one side that has pros, there's one side that has cons, and at the same time, you have to weigh the best options. But I feel right now I'm in a steady friendship with someone on the opposite sex, and I feel that has helped a lot, especially since I'm straight. But if Kyle can just give me some other information, what he might be able to relay when it comes to how I've coped or how he's coped, let's hear his answer.
So, how many holidays did you feel like you felt pretty good? And why did you feel good this holiday?
Well, like I said, I feel the best holiday is that I wasn't focused on a relationship. The past holidays, I've been depressed because I wasn't in a relationship or they
But you're not in
failed.
a relationship now, though.
Yeah, but I'm talking to someone that I see as more than a friend, and I feel that is more than enough that I can get, that provides me enough of satisfaction in my life, and that's why I've been able to deal with the holidays. But the biggest question is if you are not in a relationship or it fails, what can you do to manage or overcome the holidays? I feel the best thing you can do for yourself is at least surround yourself with someone. Someone like a friend, a family member, or maybe even on, since it's COVID season or 2020 is all about the COVID, at least communicating with someone online like Facebook or having a Zoom meeting with your family or get together on, though you can't really go into restaurants right now, at least you can somehow talk on the phone and that can be beneficial. But in the past, I think the most beneficial thing was being around family. But there's something I had to point out that I feel that has been the most benefit, and that does not only continue to holidays, but any other day that's normal to me. I feel the best bet is to put yourself on the right medications. Not a lot of people who start taking medications believe that medication is the answer, but for me, it has allowed me to be more satisfied with my life. At least not always happy, but better than other times of the season where things could be a lot worse. I'm taking the other side of the coin here and feel that things are better than before. And because of that, I've been on the right medication for a while. I've had no conflict or very little conflict with
What about
relationships.
suicidality?
I've had issues before in the past.
I mean, this year, though.
I've been suicidal, but it doesn't last long. I've been learning to cope with it better, and likely not only am I on the right medications, the relationship part is I'm not stressing over it. And I have a close friend, and I've learned to appreciate what's been around me, my family especially. But not only that, I've been able to focus on hobbies since the COVID is here. A lot of people can find it more stressful since you're around family, you're in close contact, and you're possible to be prone to more conflict with your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Me, I don't have to deal with any of that. I just focus on my hobbies, and I've been more driven to focus on my health. I've lost over 50, like around 53 pounds. I've focused on art, which I've actually been able to sell some art this year. I focused on piano videos, music videos, interviews, and I focused on piano tuning. So, and computer technology for A+ certification test. So there's a lot of
piano tuning.
And piano tuning. There's a lot of little things I've been able to do to keep my mind busy. And I think the best benefit for yourself is to find something you can focus on that drives you to get up in the morning, that you feel inspired to do. And it might be several things. If you can focus on one thing, that would be even better, because you can get into a momentum that will grow on you, and you keep going at it, and things will continue to get better.
See, a lot of people are struggling because they're socially isolated, but the irony is that you would have to say that despite your mental illness and bipolar, you wouldn't say that that's the case.
Yeah, it's most likely because
even normal people are struggling.
Though I lost physical contact with people, I'm still in contact with close people I know. A girl of the opposite sex, my family, I'm in good conditions with both of them. Things are not too stressful on that end.
We'll talk about the other paths, because I remember there was one holidays. Holidays used to be really bad. I think it even affects me. I'm not bipolar, but I do notice that during the winter times, probably because of the cold and maybe lack of sunlight, is because my sleep seems to get worse in the winter. I don't know why. I end up staying up later and waking up later, unfortunately, even with my taking pills. But I wanted to point out that there were some holidays like Thanksgiving at one point, I think 2013 or 12. We had to go chase after our brother a few times because he was stressed out during the holidays. This was probably one of the worst experiences. In 2014, during our birthday, which is coming up,
no, it's 2015.
He ended up living in a
group home.
What's the ERT stand for again?
Intensive
residential treatment. And we had to celebrate our birthday there. But right now, things are a lot better. I was talking to, on the Korean adoptee group today, whether it's the adoption issues or maybe the mental health, and whether it's the meds that actually help her or actually therapy. And she says it's probably just, maybe it's both. And maybe it's the same thing with Travis.
So, do you think it's the situation, the environment, or is it the biology, like taking meds, that helps help me the most, in your opinion? What was different in 2015 compared to 2020?
I hate to say it, I think the meds is what's actually helping them, even though a lot of people think he should go off it. But I actually am more agree with the biological route, but I do believe that it is about psychology. You have to practice a positive mindset, even if things are bad. You need to stay busy. You need to work on a hobby or get a job or volunteer or do something that keeps your mind occupied. Now, we have a lot of introverted activities. We can draw, piano, chat online, play video games on occasion, but we're always doing something. Always our hobbies. There's like it's probably our passion, because there's not a day where we actually don't do some sort of individual activity. Even if we are single and we don't have kids, we manage to still keep busy, and always keep busy pretty much.
So you feel the number one thing that has helped me the most was medication? Do you feel it's your network too, around the people that are around?
Yeah, because we've been talking more with Kimchi Club. Yeah, I do agree that it does matter on who.
What's more important, networking or hobbies?
I hate to say that. To me personally, I don't want to be codependent on someone for my happiness. So that's why I feel like hobbies are actually more important than networking. But I think it's good to have both. It's good to cherish both sides. It's a balance, but you should never rely on one thing over the other. You should balance. You should be able to hold your own, be happy alone, and if not happy alone, at least be busy and have some sort of purpose or some sort of goal that you would like to achieve, whether that's working on music, art, spending time with your children, or your family, or movies, or anything like that.
Now, there's people out there that can just be at peace doing nothing, watching TV all the day, reading a book.
But don't you think that actually aggravates?
But at the same time, it's not productive. And I feel like in order to have meaning, you got to be able to focus on something. I've actually, I tie this into belief because there was something on NPR that talked about like Santa is a good thing or a bad thing since you're lying to your kids. Well, on a psychological or physical note or a philosophical note, it's actually beneficial because it's inherent culture that gives people a drive to have morals, to
Or have faith in something.
have network, to believe into something. And you may not be religious, but having that belief gives you that hope that something is better there. And you kind of have to have that drive, that as though you're an innocent little child, because if you don't have that innate drive, then life does seem meaningless. And I will make that video meaningless because you almost feel that nothing drives you. All physical realm, if you focus on the money, the physical things you have, the material wealth, only your friends that are around you, that it alone is enough. You have to have some emotional connection to why we are here. And if you have that emotional connection to why we are here, that you believe in innate ability, whether it's God or you believe in Santa or you have kids that believe in Santa, it gives you that motivation to feel that as a collective human being, life has some meaning to it. Now, if you take that route of saying Santa isn't real, your kids, you're not protecting them, you're lying to them, you can go that route. But if you say to yourself, I'll never get better, it's my biology, I can't get better, you're always focused on this physical thing, but emotionally, how's that going to benefit you?
So you do believe your thoughts equal your
Your thoughts will definitely determine your action. And if you're on a negative spiral, you're going to end up in a momentum that's always negative, and you continue to go down that. But if you have a stop block like in there, then you have in a moment where you're trying to think positive, things will definitely go a little bit better for you.
What do you say for people that are just always negative and don't want to get help?
There's people that are always negative and don't want to get help, but in the end, it's their choice. But if you could somehow be that encouragement to let them know that you're there, to let them know that, hey, you're really talented in this, or you have a skill level in something, encourage them to keep doing that. I never thought I'd be able to make art as for money, but I have this year more than any other year. I've more than I've actually ever tried every year, more than because I've tried. And it's more important to try at something than to give up and think that life is just meaningless and you're lying to yourself if you want to feel bad for no apparent reason.
Is it true that life is meaningless or no?
If you have the belief system that the spiritual level or emotional level, that you believe in something, you have that innate drive, there's human rights. We don't know the physical reason of why humans need rights, but from an emotional level, we feel that humans deserve rights. So you deserve a break from life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be satisfied. You deserve to be the best that you can be. And if you have that innate ability, that innate thought process, you're likely going to be less depressed, more stable, be able to draw in more positive situations, family, friends, a relationship. I feel all this would better you in the end if you have the innate positive ability to have the belief system to be a better person.
So in a way, even if it's not always about the practicality or intangibility, it's what's actually the unknowns that you have to still believe that that hope is always possible, that even no matter how dark it is, something good can come from the darkness.
If you just focus on the tangible things, like
Money.
I want to I cut myself so many times. I've been broke so many times. I've been an alcoholic, or I've been an addiction so many times. I have no responsibility
Mistakes.
over myself. I'm just a mistake. These are all tangible things, but if you focus on the intangible, like the unintangible things that do not exist, like in a physical realm, but a more spiritual or emotional realm, you're going to realize that you're going to be a lot better for yourself. And if you want to believe in Santa, or if you want to believe that you have the right to be happy, then go for it. You want to be happy, right? You want to be satisfied. You don't want to go down the route where you're just negative and have this belief you're killing people, or killing the innocence of being a child, or you're killing the reason why humans are even here. Because if you're not satisfied, you are going to hate yourself. You are going to hate life. You are going to hate others. You are going to have a hard time dealing with life. You're going to have a hard time doing things. But if you have this purpose, that you believe that you have meaning, there are going to be days where you're going to feel down and you feel life is meaningless. But there also, that gives you a greater chance to be more successful, to have positive roles. Because if you are at your darkest time, the lowest point of your life, the only point that you can go now is up. And I feel holidays can be really bad, but the other days that might not be, and you might actually appreciate life a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a woman that I've been talking to, afraid to go to the therapist, had all her eggs in one basket for a relationship, and I don't think it's a good mentality. You need to learn to be happy and content with yourself, whether you're in love with the fantasy or not, in my opinion.
So let's review what I believe in. I feel that the belief in the
strong core beliefs,
strong core beliefs in the intangible things, not the tangible things, is the one thing you need to have. You need to have a purpose. You need to have a responsibility.
That's a goal.
That is your goal, and you have the right to be happy. Number two, you got to get yourself motivated to do what you need to do. Especially, I feel the second goal, once you have the belief that you can get better, you want to have the right stability of medication. This could be a very long time. I've had denials. I've had responsibilities of taking meds. I've tried different meds. I've had problems with different meds, but I kept trying, and that's what's so important. So you have to have that belief to keep trying. Number three, which could go with number four, you need to have hobbies that you can continue to focus on, or at least volunteerism, or job opportunities, or work, anything to that. You need to have a work ethic. It can be on hobbies, it can be on work, or it can be on volunteering.
And does work always have to be unenjoyable, or no?
Work doesn't always have to be unenjoyable, but you have to find something that does make you satisfied in the long run. And number four is networking, family, friends, relationships. No, this shouldn't be on the top of your list, but it does feel like sometimes it is.
Important to have.
It's important to have, but you shouldn't stress
put your eggs in one basket.
Do not put your eggs in one basket over relationships.
Humans are always
because humans make mistakes.
Unpredictable.
They're unpredictable, and the best thing you can do for yourself is take control of what you can do. Take control of your own reactions.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
And if you care and respect about your body, you would treat it as best as you can.
So that is it in a nutshell. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope things are going well with you. Even though 2020 has been difficult, try to focus on your hobbies if you can. And hopefully things are a lot better for you.
All right, appreciate it. This is my brother Kyle and me, Travis, taking off. This is Beyond Bipolar Blog. This is a new video in a very long time. The last video I've done was Why Life is Meaningless, remaster, redone. I feel this is also an important video. I've actually
What's the title of this video?
It's going to be How to Cope with Holidays.
Oh, okay.
So, this is an important topic, and it could be applied to any parts of your life. What I want to get is, I've been posting some old videos because I feel that they're getting, since I have more traction on my videos and subscribers, that people might want to see these older videos.
And we want to focus on what's not just the mental illness or the issue at hand. We want to focus on what's beyond and like we were talking about, the unintangible things. So that's why it's called Beyond Bipolar Blog, not just focusing just on, I mean, you could say that you're bipolar and all this, but then that's great and all, but what are you doing to
Better
deal
yourself.
with it and better yourself?
How are you coping with it? Coping should be a positive thing, not a negative thing.
So this goes in hand with beyond not just bipolar, depression, PTSD,
anxiety,
addictions, all that. You can almost jumble it all together. It doesn't matter in the end. That was your identity in the past, and
whether you have control, whether you believe you have control or don't have control, that's less the reason. But you have to realize that you will make a choice. Whether it's doing nothing, whether it's doing the bad thing, the good thing, you will make a choice. And you just gotta have that innate belief to believe in the intangible, because if you have the intangible belief, if you believe in God, if you believe in Santa, or if you believe in helping your kids get through the traumas of the difficulties through 2020, you want to at least try to remain positive. So just focusing on the negative things that are physically there, it's not going to help you in the end.
I agree. So in a way, even though, I mean, in the past it would get me mad that you are what you think, but in the end, that's just true. It's what you think is basically what you eat, and if you're eating, and if you're feeding the bad things, you're gonna end up carrying waste. But if you're trying to push yourself to see the better things, who you want to be, not what you are today, but who you want to be in the future, figuring out what you want to be in the future, there's actually, and having that goal, that's what gives you meaning. It's not about meeting your goal or finding it. It's just about just doing it and just doing it along the way.
So I've had a self-help book analogy that I feel is really important. You can either grow weeds, which are easily to grow in your mind, or grow a flower or a seedling of something precious that really has meaning to you. It takes more work, more time, more patience to grow a flower, but it takes less patience, less time to grow weeds. You want to try to pick the weeds, the negative things, and grow on something.
And this reminds me of Aesop's fables, where you had a squirrel and maybe it wasn't a duck, but it was some sort of different animal that just liked to play around. And in the end, he didn't prepare for winter. So when it became the winter, the squirrel was happy because he was warm in his bed and had enough food, where the duck was cold and didn't have anything set up for himself. Yes, he was happy in the beginning,
short term,
but in the long term, the choice not to work on yourself or prepare it end up just causing more issues.
You have to prepare your life if you want to get anywhere, because you may not realize this, but you're going to have to take sacrifices. You don't want short-term
for your own
you don't
life.
Want short-term rewards, because they don't last. But if you focus on the long term, like goals,
instant gratification never lasts.
Instant gratification never lasts, as he stated. But goals, responsibilities, long-term goals especially, can last you a lifetime and can definitely better your
future.
And
who do you want to be? Who do you want to be known as in the future? What do you want to leave behind? I feel like my brother and I could leave behind a lot of our creative talents, our music, our videos, all that kind of creative stuff. So that's kind of what's allowing us to live, and along with these videos of sharing our own insights.
So I think that's it.
Yep, I think that's it. Take care, everybody. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year. Bye.